Hello, everyone. This is your host, Sharon Sirota at SunGates Center. And with me today is our honorary guest, Ella Arbit. Welcome, Ella.
Thank you, Sharon.
Well, Ella is a visionary and creative scientist, and we would like to welcome you back to SunGates Radio Center.
Well, thank you. I'm proud to be a part of this establishment, and more and more I feel that what we're featuring here is helping a lot of people. I got feedback in regards to our presentations, and I'm happy to be back.
This is absolutely wonderful. So what we're going to talk to you about today, you mentioned about quantum and how people are affected by that. Can you explain that a little bit more in depth?
To me, quantum is my home, and quantumization, I feel, is a future of many science structures, including medicine. What makes me believe that it's a future, I already see the results, drastic results. Quantum is a very honest place. Honest to the point that it will not allow anybody who is too drastic for quantum or irresponsible in a way, open the gate. Gate opening, it's very structured, very powerful. You have to be mindful of their agenda, such as we want to help when we know how it works, beyond recognition at the human level, because this is the way. This is the power of belief that one has to have to accomplish what's expected of you. So you become a gift to them, and they give back. So it's a give and take in a way, but who is taking? I'm pleased to assist.
Okay, that's great. And so you're a facilitator for that, opening up that energy that people can maybe experience it for themselves, and then they can experience the gift of this.
Quantum is more of acceptance. Quantumization is beginning. Quantum loves to begin with you, and beginning is very structured. So what's keeping other people away from quantum, from a miracle, because quantum is a miracle. I've never seen anything like that. Well, you began a little bit with quantum the other day. We had women's circle, and previously during our program, we mentioned genome, that you had your own experience. I gave you the genome, so it's a proud gift of the quantum. And we talked about acceptance. It took 15 seconds of you not even knowing what to be done, and it gave the way, correct?
It did. It really opened up things that people, when they experience the genome, is that it's some kind of an energy shift. And it also happens to help for them as well in this quantum field of energy.
So in other words, your body didn't have to it recognized it, right?
Right.
It was spontaneous?
Right. It was just like that muscle memory that it just came back
so we're prepared.
Instantly.
We're prepared beyond our knowing, right?
Right. That is correct.
Okay. But what I loved about you the other day is that I put you on the spot. Somebody needed healing/help. And I asked for you. And the call was towards your heart. Your heart didn't even mince the time, because time is very crucial for quantum. You appeared in front of the healing person, and you asked me a question, what do I need to do? And I said, nothing, just go. And I was worried about you pushing back. You didn't. So you sustained your position with quantum very proudly. You're a proud person. So science of pride is quantum knowing. Not knowledge. They always correct me if I want to say knowledge, because, and I apologize for saying I want to, it's knowing. Why it's knowing? Because it's already, like a prescription, it's already written somewhere. So in a way, we have to be careful. They already have it prepared for us. We don't have to entice it. So you gave a genome, not knowing how to do it. I just stood by you. To 2 people. The third one needed it, and you said, no, I have to go. And it was perfectly fine. It was perfectly fine. So you got tested by genome too. So your own genome said, this is enough. This is how stable it is.
Yeah, and trusting the process, that it's very simple. It's a simple process.
You cannot avoid it. Once you walk into that prideful place, It keeps you there. It does not want you to struggle. You're solid, you're protected, and you're loved. They're different genomes.
Right. It's a safe place. It's a safe place
It's
to be.
sacred also. For
Right.
many people, it's not just safe, it's also a sacred component is there. Now, the second person got the sacred genome. Remember, I said this one is with a choice. So carefully kind of look at her. She was fine because it's a 2-step protocol, and she was blissful. I couldn't walk away from her.
Right. That's the benefit. That's
Yeah.
the benefit of experiencing the quantum energy
Yeah.
is that you feel blissful. You
Structure,
feel,
it's not energy, it's structure.
it's like
Yeah.
you're shifting your consciousness, and you have some kind of an awareness about you, but in that state.
It's more geared towards. Now, you also mentioned of the experience that during the giving portion, somebody came to your assistance, right? Because my soul was with your soul, you gave the heart, and I was watching at the soul level. Now, what happened as you were giving the blessing of that genome to that person? Who came to your assistance?
It's just like offering a blessing.
Yeah.
It's just feeling peacefulness within yourself, and just kind of opening it up so that way that the person is open also to having that experience as well. And so when people are open to it, then they can experience it.
So you tuned in with your intuitive part, and you felt like you're being observed and felt and hugged during that experience,
Right.
correct?
Taking myself out of that situation, just being more of an observer in that, and just opening up. So it's opening up the heart center and just offering the blessing.
So for you, a giver, all the channels of your communication with divine were open, right? They were crystal clear
Yes.
because crystalline energy is assisting. So crystalline energy is part of your depot, not the person, because genome doesn't have that. But you were crystallized. So your intention for giving, you cannot fail because it's a crystalline base. It's love's energy. So
Absolutely.
So that is part of spontaneous process, a protocol. It's a gift. You cannot miss it. Has not failed.
Right. It's just a beingness in that flow. It's just understanding that you have the gift and having acceptance of it, and then the willingness of people to receive it. So that's how I felt. So it was absolutely a wonderful experience, Ella. Thank you.
Quantum can, my pleasure, and thank you for being willing. Quantum is very energetic place. Quantum is not a problem, but they can create problems for people who are not generous. Deceiving hearts get the other part of quantum. So it's almost like there are several levels of quantum. Where I stand is what God gives me. It's more than perfect, and I cannot even analyze it.
And what you mean by the different energy is their intention. So if their intention is positive, then that's what they will
You receive a gift.
receive that.
Yeah.
But if it's negative or just some kind of other alternate energy that you're sending that's not of the truth, that's not of what it is that is the gift, then it can alter. That state can alter as
They
well.
separated for me. I never touch the unwanted. It's part of if it's part of the consciousness that I came from. Probably other people would. I came from pure consciousness. I know my position. I know what my gifts are. I cannot fail it. I cannot protect something that is not mine. And I'm not going to judge it. And I'm blessed that way.
Right. And
So-
judgment is something you don't have when you do this, because you're so open to it that you're not bringing your own consciousness. It's just like the consciousness, like universal.
That's why we have a ruler. That's why we have a kingdom. That's why I was trained by love. And an interesting thing that part of my training included pre-protocoled messages to me from before I arrived time. So it's such a beautiful gift. At leisure, maybe I'll explain to people. Maybe I'll have gatherings, lectures. And they all have pre-recorded messages. So consciousness, actually the quantum, that part of beautiful, blissful consciousness gives you so much more than we can ever expect. I cried. My first time I listened to my pre-recorded agenda for what I had to accomplish for that particular day. I was just tuned in to my self-conscious pathway. It's energetic pathway. It's beyond genome. So within us, there are many gifts, but we probably will close about the giftedness part because there is so much more that I want to tell, and I don't want to be abrupt with this information. It's very powerful information that belongs to power of love, and love is powerful.
Right. Because love is so, what we accept here, but love for everyone and love for the self. And then that's how you can experience what you're talking about.
For almost everyone. Sometimes you have to withdraw, and this is what Hashem, God, is telling me today. Sometimes you have to withdraw for them to connect with what they don't want a little faster. Then love keeps an eye on them and gives them maybe a pill. Being a medical provider, I know that there are other ways. For example, somebody instigated into pharmaceutical companies and they began to blossom. And I used to prescribe, and I was generous with that too, at the point where God said, this is enough. You're at such a pure level that I cannot contaminate your being with prescriptions and or living at the level where you know that you cannot be honest anymore. So I quit medicine. It was a very powerful decision. He gave me a year and a half for that. I kind of failed. I didn't know how to separate.
Right, because you were a professional medical, prescribing pills and medicines and medications.
Yeah. And it was my way, but his way was absolutely different. But at the level of evolution, he accepted me for who I am, knowing that I have to, beginning very slowly, but still not anticipating any good from medicine. And that became a point of where he said, okay, discern now and don't return. So it was like overnight experience. Just like he opened me up. When he opened me up, it was an overnight experience. It came spontaneously to a complete non-believer. There was no anticipation or learning curve. He just took me, hugged me, and said, okay, let's go. I know who you are. I disappeared a little bit. And he said, no, do it.
You were ready.
I didn't know. I didn't know the word ready. Ready for what? He doesn't explain. He just takes you. So you have to, people call it a leap of faith. Could be. I just grabbed myself. I think I just grabbed myself and went.
Yeah, you just all of a sudden decided that now you wanted to switch. You were, prescribing medications, and then you went into what quantum or energy, and you changed the way that you help people or the way you're healing yourself and other people.
There was a little bit more of a standard, or he says substandard training to a point. I went further to Integrative Medicine Fellowship, and I asked him honestly, I said, Father, should I? He said, it doesn't hurt. Just go. So it became my routine for a few years. But at the same time, I was teaching myself other modalities just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Nothing can compare to love. So my training included Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, working with horses I did on the side at the same time. So I included Reiki, I included everything, Kabbalah, Talmud, spiritual. There is no point of describing spiritual because it means so much to so many people. But at the same time, genome became my natural home. I found everything I needed at the level of genome. So I suggest it to everyone. It's so easy. It's so natural. It's a bliss.
Can you explain for our listeners that we're here to them what exactly genome is?
It's just, genome is a divine structure. It's an atomic-based structure which is natural to our hearts. That's why the rate of acceptance is so great. It's not for believers. But it's a guide to, it's an inclusionary guide, inclusionary for, you don't match yourself with anybody. you become knowing yourself at the level that it's very honest. There is no purpose. It's not purposeful. It's very gentle. Mine was gentle. How was yours?
Yes, it was just a feeling of beingness, of just isness, so to speak. In other words, you didn't have to push or control anything. It was
Right.
just a natural state.
It's more of a core in you, but core is wonderful. You know, Father says, do not disseminate notes to anybody because he doesn't want people to know. You have to be ready or not, he says, because spontaneous has rules. You cannot discern what he gives. You cannot discern love. You can push it back. So if I want to assist more, I need to stop and say, okay, let's generate less for accepting more. I think it's more of a virtue type deal. If we want to say deal, then let me see it.
And it's also an energy that has its own intelligence, that the energy just knows where to go in the body. It also knows what you need. So it's not as if someone else can control it for you and say, this is what you need, this is what you don't need.
Okay, from the quantum point, it has okay, and he says, no, service your heart. I was going to explain what I know, and he says, no, push back. Just push back and don't explain, because literature will come maybe next generation. Maybe I'm just a clinical practicum. Maybe he'll allow me to explain, because there is an explanation to the structure. It's very generous of our Father to even mention that he can give it to us. Let's talk about why he's giving it. Medicine is going in the wrong direction. Does he want just to prove his topic to us? Could be. He says, mention and walk away. Don't give any promises to anyone. That's his point of view on what it is.
And it's also about people knowing where they're at, their acceptance of healing or self-healing. And so it's also something that they can be aware of. And if they so choose, they could go to this energy that you're speaking about.
Could be. Maybe he's showing you more of a plan, and for me, just stay where you are. I accept that as well.
Okay.
I thank you.
Okay, great.
For being a visionary as well. So visionary to visionary, maybe there is something more.
Of course, there's always more.
Yeah, so he had a purpose of shutting me down and giving you the result that he wants to see. How beautiful is that?
And we go by steps. We keep increasing.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever we're become aware of at the time.
Yeah,
So at this time, we're aware that this is happening. And next time when we talk, it could be something else. So we're just
and let it be.
Going with the flow.
Let it be.
Right?
The flow is the most beautiful part of my existence. I love flow. And it's so beautifully in a healthy way. I don't take any pills. They help me with anything I needed. I'm more rational than I used to be. Graduating from Andrew Weil's School of Thought, I was taking kind of a naturopathic way of supplementation and herbs. Today, and actually God asked me not to even take herbs. Why? It would clash with what he was doing with me.
It's also a knowingness of what you really need, what your body needs. And ideally, not to take pills, not to take medications, but not to get off medications until your doctor tells you that it's okay. And, also knowing for yourself, you can also question it. If the doctor says you need this much, maybe you have a question about it. And it's always good to, express yourself. And if there's any doubt about it, then definitely ask. And you can ask more than one person. And Ella, what you're talking to us today is about healing the self, through this quantum energy or genome. But people are also, it's a way of healing the world.
Well, his world. And again, we need to retract back to who created us. The Creator wants us to know, we're not supposed to be sick.
Right. In a perfect world, we are all healthy and nothing needs to be fixed. However, that when people accept that they have certain diseases or they accept that they do have it, then a lot of times they go to natural healers or they go to another energy to see what else can happen that they could be healed. And so this is what you're speaking about.
Well, we're made according to a Creator, and I'm not going to suppose anything. I heal by His word. We are meant to resist the disease. Now, the strength. What else is up there? Quantum is about strength. It's going to be a very popular thought process for many people next couple of years. Strength comes from quantum. It's instant. But why, I will be explaining later. It's a preposition that he wants us to hear from him about where and what comes, not why. Why maybe later? Well, to me, it's natural to help us, to love us more, to show himself, his pride, what he does. I think to contradict medical society too. He taught me about the double-blind studies his way. Oh, I have to mention something. It just came to my mind. He told me about being surprised, and he says, you'll be surprised few times these couple of weeks. So I've called another company, not to contradict myself, another radio station where he asked me a couple of times to appear, so they recognize me as a lecturer. I appear and I speak, and the owner was absent. And the lady who was answering the phone, she knows me briefly. She's not always there when I come for the interview. She says, Ella, I have something to tell you. And she started to tell me that she has a friend whose son talks to me via quantum. I don't know him. I don't know that family. But he's learned from my heart, from my pathway, that serves on a regular basis, enough information to help himself. And his mother made a comment to this lady who was on the phone with me that the kid has changed. So father is using this type of conversation or proof to approve just less than drastic, less than understanding his way. His way, he's going to show a lot. So to him, this is a double-blind study. I don't know the person doesn't know me, but he got better. I studied statistics at the university. And to link my thought process to what I know today, I subconsciously knew it's not the way to do it. Subconsciously, I resisted. And it's not in my, I rarely resist anything. I'm a flow person. But something was telling me way before, it was God, it was love, that this is foolish. Statistics are not a way. Archangel Michael just said the word for me, and I don't want to repeat it on the radio, what it is. So the double-blind study is what God did. I know the name of the person. I never met him. I said maybe he should introduce himself, but this is not the point. My heart serves beyond on God's matrix. This is something new that I never explained to the public. I knew that I belong to 40,000 hearts. It's 1 million, and Father says it's close to 10 million very shortly, and I will not know when. It's a way that he structured me. I came to assist. I came to serve. I came to have my life at the level that he wanted. It's not a propaganda. He says if anybody starts consuming my words and digesting in the wrong direction, they will experience love, not me.
When you talk about hearts being connected to 40,000 hearts, so you're talking about connected to all these people. Is that what you're referring to?
I don't even know who. It's beyond me, but beyond is quantum.
Mm-hmm. Because it's energy. It's just huge. It's everywhere.
It's a gatekeeping. Hashem, Father is telling me it's a Hashem. It's in Hebrew. I apologize for not explaining. Hashem. He's a father to me. He's my beloved father. I'm welcomed at his level, where I stand today at his level, at his God's matrix. It's like home to me. I came from there. And he says, why would you not know your home? And
you mean by source, right? You mean source,
my
creator?
Source where I came, yeah. Kingdom has levels. Nobody talked about levels before me. But I came with that gift of knowing. And it's not premature to talk about that, because people are asking a lot of these questions nowadays. What's happening? Why there's inequality? Why we're struggling? Well, I came not to struggle and show the world that there is a way out of struggle, But that's my proposition for people to just recognize there is a thought process like that, and let's do nothing about that. The understanding will follow. Let's just open our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see an eye to eye. Hello.
That's great.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so we know that healing is so important to people, and we were going to talk about yoga, that yoga also is helpful for people. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I'm smiling. Old school. Why? I'm just going to be very direct. It's insufficient. Insufficient in so many ways that I don't know if I need to drop the sky professionally on this world where a lot of people are doing yoga. Yoga detaches. It doesn't combine you. I would say Matrix is my yoga place where I can do whatever I need to recognize who I am at the level that I need to. It gives strength. It even gives you the muscle tone. It does so much more than waste of time on something that is not crucial to you. It's an old world that belongs to people who are still cherishing, but insisting that it belongs to the Western world, I would be a liar. I'm not such.
You know, yoga to people is also means union with God. So when people are practicing
Absolutely
yoga,
not.
So this is your opinion about yoga.
I know so.
Mm-hmm.
God is not that simple. He will not anticipate you at the level where he comes to you. It's a little awkward to say about something that people don't have an understanding. I will have more lectures at the level there will be a knowing to the point that it will be sophisticated enough for people to understand, not just recognize. This is beyond recognition. You have to know, and it's not simple. Why? I'm not an accomplice to anyone. It is his way again. He wants to give us what's proud, what belongs to us, especially his kids who are already living next generation. He doesn't want to spoil what he's giving them. He doesn't. He wants it to stop because the new kids are not made for it. But he doesn't want them to be fooled. But who's going to fool them? The parents.
Well, parents have a big influence
Of course.
on their
so
children.
Let's stop at the point where we don't want to flow with any ideas beyond this point. It's crucial that we honestly stand in front of him and say, we did stop. When he will teach us about more of love, not just let me find something in the spirit world where he doesn't look for us anymore. It used to be. That was the only connect at that level at that time. He used to be there. But something happened.
You know, I also...
He's motioned away from that place already.
There's a shift, though, in
exactly.
the new
It's an
kids
old
that are
school.
coming.
It blinds people. It doesn't give them enough. It relaxes them a little bit because they allow themselves. It's a placebo in a way, but it's not working to the point where it can be instant, quick. We have to. It became lucrative. But it's not honest. So honesty belongs to the time, and he will allow us to speak of that time when the time comes.
You know, with the new kids that are coming, they say they're crystal children or indigo children. And so with the parents now, it's instead of, diagnosing their kids because they're maybe not conforming to the way society expects kids to be and putting them on medications, that just being open to seeing how their kids are transforming and the gifts that they have coming into this world, instead of, going along with what society would say that the kids should be, and just allowing them to be who they are.
They're more pure. They're seers. They're not seekers. Seekers were a secretive society where we lived in 20th century. 21st century opens a lot of doors. A gate opening, I have all the keys to how many gates I've opened in quantum, only because it's a sacred pathway for me. They're not knowers. They are anticipators. They are promoters of evolution to the point that we will blossom. And I want to say hello to that. That's why spending too much time on yoga, it's going to dissipate. But I just want to touch somebody's heart with that thought because I'm a mother. I wish the blessings on your kids. I don't want to be a mountain standing in front of my blessed kid who came already blessed. They already know. They already programmed for love. They don't need to need God. It's already there.
So it's not projecting a need for something, knowing that you already have something.
They're up and down from God. They're crystal kids. They're nowheres. They need to motion forward. So we don't need to block their pathways. Chemically, with medications, herbally also. They don't need anything. Quantumization is a wonderful pathway. We will have bliss with quantum. Quantum loves us, needs us. Quantum needs us clear. Talking about that will block the time. Time is crucial for quantum. I unblock my time to work. So it becomes, okay, I'm time sensitive, just like somebody's pill. I work quicker than the pill. I can digest, and you digested me quicker than the pill, and you knew how to give genome to another person. 4 to 14 seconds. It depends on how sensitive people are. It's faster than Xanax.
It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And it's very cool to actually experience it. So that would be a great opportunity for people to meet with you and to talk more about it.
I will lecture less because I need to write a lot. Father is happy with our interviewing process. There will be a little bit more information on my website, and he's not letting me close to my website because I became too spontaneous, too quick, and he's not going to miss the opportunity. And he told me, stop, take a break. I had two weeks vacation, went back to Arizona, and came back, and he said it's going to be brave and quick. Are you ready? And of course, I'm a flyer. I fly. Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much, Ella. Is there anything else that you would like to add today?
I wish upon everybody truthfulness. It's very sacred gift. Many are still struggling with truthfulness. Being plugged into genome, I know that medical complexity is going to go away. How quick? It depends on us. It depends on people who live to love. And I will join anybody in a good discussion about what medications are. At some point, there's a way to disclose less probably today, but Father is always telling me something new. This morning I woke up and he was telling me how when I was practicing, my patients I would say the word, eliminate, excrete the whole pills. So I asked him then what happened, why some patients sometimes excrete the whole pill and it's like not touching the digestive tract. He said, I just wanted you to be aware and be keen in the level where we explain to you now how we can twist the hand to pharmaceutical companies and happy providers that stubbornly want to continue to placebo people at that level, which is hurtful to them. Father can remove the medication from the organism. We're very organized, he said. He knows how to tweak us, how to twitch us, how to disconnect us, and how to do what he needs to do if he wants to be drastic. And he does it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, a lot of times when we put things in our body that don't digest well or something
he helped us not to swallow it all the way and take it all the way
through us and
through us completely whole pill. And
us, yes.
I even had pictures of the nurses who were sending me pictures of that excretes with the pill, and we shouldn't be talking about that. And just for me to look at that and just not to doubt that it actually happened. He's done it. He's done it enough.
And there's good reason. There's always a reason for things happening the way they do.
Safety. Father wanted us to be safe and show it. We don't have to. As far as the herbs, I can connect back with that topic. Very rarely people talk about herb to medication interactions. I studied about that at Dr. Andrew Weil's fellowship. Very rarely people know enough, and Creator says that we don't even know enough. So we have to be very carefully assessing what we're doing, because herbs and medications don't mix well. We have to be very cognizant of what we need to be doing in the future.
Yes, and not only that, but the way other medications interact with other medications. There's always some kind of give and take, and
Horrific.
things do when they don't mix.
There were times where I didn't know how to treat a pneumonia because of antibiotic sensitivity, and pharmacy calling me back and says that it creates a problem with another antipsychotic, for example. And I was to the point, I was at the wall, during my practice, seeing what the future holds, that very soon, very shortly, we won't be able to prescribe, honestly. So I think it's in God's hands. That's why I think we're premature with exclamation signs. I think He's going to take care of it. And I'm not going to invade His plans. What's crucial is to be honest, be connected, and the word connected is the most promising way to know. How to connect, I need to teach more and more. How to love, God will teach. But how to connect is matrix, genome, and other ways. And I thank you, everybody who listened proudly and hoping for the good future. God bless.
Yes, thank you so much, Ella Arbit, and thank you to our listeners at SunGates Center. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.